I'm going to welcome now Olivier Jankovec, who is Director General of ACI Europe, to make an announcement about the Airport Carbon Accreditation Program. So, Olivier, please.
So, good morning, everybody. I'm sorry you have to bear with me and not have a coffee break, but we'll try to keep it short. First of all, as ACI, we're obviously delighted to be part of this event. And at the end, I'd like to thank very much Aldane and all the team of ATAG for bringing us all together once more at this very critical juncture. What I'd like to do is brief you on how the airport industry specifically has been working on reducing its own carbon emissions as part of the wider aviation sector's climate action. So looking at where we currently stand in terms of our efforts and announcing today a new critical chapter in our work and those collective efforts towards net zero. So starting with carbon management at airports, it's been a long story actually, because we started working on reducing our emissions back in June 2009. That's when we launched Airport Carbon Accreditation in Europe. At the time, nobody was talking about net zero. Rather, we were trying to provide our airports with a toolbox on how to reduce their CO2. And that's how we ended up setting the standard for carbon management at airports. How did we do that? Well, we didn't want to reinvent the rules, so we actually followed existing global standards and methodology from the World Business Council for Sustainable Development and the World Resources Institute. And in particular, when it comes to defining the different scopes in terms of emissions that happen at an airport. That came together with 4 initial levels of certifications from airports, so from the very basics, how to do a carbon mapping, all the way to what we call the level 3+, which is the carbon neutrality level. That also came with independent management about the program, because as ACI, we didn't want to certify our own airports on carbon management, so we gave the management of that program to WSP. That came with institutional oversight, and we're very proud and happy to have in the advisory board of the program all the institutions you see here, in particular ICAO and the UNFCCC, and I'd like to thank them very much for their support. And that obviously came with transparency in the form of annual reporting about the program. I think overall what is very important is that this work has not remained static since 2009, in the sense that we have been evolving the program following science and societal developments, and that's obviously something we'll continue to do, reviewing the requirements under the program. That notably led us to tighten the requirements for offsetting. That also led us to, of course, embrace renewed ambitions when it comes to alignment with the Paris Agreement. We created new certification levels above the ones I've mentioned before, requiring airports to follow a carbon reduction pathway which is fully aligned with the Paris Agreement. I think what Airport Carbon Accreditation clearly has done since 2009 is creating a global climate action community of airports, because what started as a European initiative became global by 2013, because we extended the program to all the regions of ACI across the globe. And as you can see here, we made significant progress in getting airports on board. In the first year, we had just 17 airports certified. We're now at 557 airports across the globe, across 5 continents certified. That's roughly, at the moment, 46% of global air traffic. But very importantly, I think this is a community that is delivering year after year tangible CO2 reductions. The latest count in our last reporting period is for a reduction of more than 1,150,000 tons of CO2, which is quite significant, and that keeps going on. The groundwork that airports are doing through the program, as of course, I need to take you through the different regions of the world so you can appreciate the number of airports that are certified. Each dots represent, of course, a program certified at the different levels of the program. So you can see massive participation in Europe, significant participation also in Asia Pacific and the Middle East, going to Latin America and the Caribbean, then North America and Africa. Building climate credentials and recognition has been, of course, one of the key reasons for us to do this. And I think the words that you can read here from the UNFCCC and ICAO speak for themselves. But beyond that recognition and the recognition that individual airports get through the program, I think very importantly, what we are doing is that we are moving from being part of the problem to being part of the solution. And of course, this is crucial because climate change is accelerating. And against that background, I think clearly what we see is that Airport Carbon Accreditation is now increasingly about supporting the business transformation of airports towards a new airport value creation model based on sustainability, innovation, and diversification. Today is an important date for us because we are reaching a new milestone in our climate action efforts through the program. We're launching level 5, yet another new level of certification under the program. What this new level does and will do is that it will certify airports for achieving and maintaining net zero CO2 in scope 1 and 2 emissions. It will require airports to provide a management plan to certify that they can maintain that level moving forward. It will require airports to fully map all of their scope 3 emissions and also to provide a roadmap and a stakeholder engagement plan with intermediate milestones on how to achieve net zero also for scope 3 emissions. So quite an ambitious new level, which reflects the fact that indeed we're starting to see some airports reaching the net zero emissions for scope 1 and 2. And today I'm really very proud and glad to announce that we're getting the first airport certified under the program. You can see them here. We have Amsterdam Schiphol, Eindhoven, and Rotterdam The Hague, managed by the Royal Schiphol Group. Christchurch in New Zealand. We have Madeira, Ponta Delgada and Beja in Portugal, together with Toulon Airport, all managed by the Vinci Airport Group, and Göteborg and Malmö, part of the Swedavia Airport Group, which is the Swedish airport group. So I'm really proud, and I think they deserve a round of applause. I will get them on stage, so hold on. We were supposed to have with us Conor Barry, who is responsible for stakeholder engagement at the UNFCCC, but he is being held into the blue zone, so he can't join us. But I'm very happy to invite on stage Sheikh Ayman Al-Hosni, who is the president of ACI World and CEO of Oman Airports Company and a longtime supporter of our climate action as part of ACI. And I'd like to have Eamon help me give the certificates to the pioneers that I mentioned. So we'll start with Wilma van Dijk, CEO of Rotterdam The Hague Airport for the Royal Schiphol Group. Please, Wilma, join us on stage. We need to make some space. I'm calling now calling Claire Waghorn, Sustainability Transition Leader at Christchurch Airport. Please, Claire, join us, and congratulations. Nicolas Notbar, CEO and President of Vinci Airports. And finally, Fredrik Jaresvel, Director of Strategy and Innovation at Swedavia Swedish Airports for Gothenburg and Malmö. Thank you for your patience with the little ceremony. I'll pass by the mic to Alden. Thank you.